From MPB Think Radio, this is Now You're Talking, the award-winning show about the most interesting people and stories of Mississippi. I'm your host, Marshall Ramsey, an editorial cartoonist committed to telling Mississippi's best stories. March is Women's History Month, and it was important to us that we bring you the stories of some awesome women right here in Mississippi. And we begin with private chef and catering extraordinaire Chef Poe. Born Lashante Cox, Poe has roots in both Shaw, Mississippi, and right here in Jackson, and will be telling us the story of how being in the kitchen with her family influenced her current career. She also has previously attended a few food festivals in the state as well, and can give us a heads up on what to expect with one coming up. So, hey, stay tuned. We're here, and we're going to be talking about a great thing. Thank you for listening today. I appreciate that. And Lacey, how are you?
I am wonderful. I am so excited about Chef Poe. Anytime we get to talk about food, I get excited.
Yeah, I mean, Chef Poe can talk right now, too. So we're talking about her with her sitting right here.
Of course.
But it's fantastic. We were sitting there catching up a little bit before the show started. And, of course, we were talking about food the previous hour. And then we're going to talk a little bit about food. So if you weren't hungry enough last hour, you're going to be really hungry by the end of this show.
We needed to go ahead and get Chef in the building before Lent. Otherwise, it would just be torture.
It would be totally torture.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I know. And now, so with, the last show with Malcolm and company, it was Malcolm's birthday, of course, and he had like a seven layers or 7-story tall cake. It was huge, still sitting out there.
And it was rainbow, beautiful colors.
It was very pretty. And then they had a king cake out there, which I was about to go buy a king cake, but I feel like I just got my fix before the show, which means in about 10 minutes, you're going to have to come in here and wake me up.
That's too much sugar for 10 o'clock in the morning.
Like birthday cake on top of king cake? Yeah, that's a lot of sugar.
It was pretty rough. Yeah. No, and I really don't eat a lot of sugar. So, like I said, you're going to be over there with like a EpiPen of insulin in my heart trying to get me started again.
I'm going to be like, emergency.
We
got one down.
Yeah. Host down.
Chef Poe will have to run the show by herself.
Oh, Chef Poe. Yeah, I think she could.
She probably could.
And I'll just talk about food just forever until they come and pull the plug.
And then everyone will be happy.
And you know what? Yeah, exactly. That's the best thing in the world to talk about. I think we're all into that, no doubt. I know I am, definitely. So, Chef Poe, where did Chef Poe come from? Where did the name come from?
Well, actually, one of my friends gave me that name because
you have nicer friends than me, because that's a cool name. My friends call me names, but it wasn't quite that nice.
Well, they shortened it because it was poetic. Because I used to do a lot of writing and stuff. That was back in my other life.
Your other life?
Yeah. When I did a lot of writing and short stories and stuff like that, so they would call me Poetic. So they shortened it and called, and it was like, you should be Chef Poe. And I was like, that's good.
So now you just tweaked my interest here a little bit about your writing phase of your life. So was this when you were in school, in high school or college, or when?
It started in high school because I had an awesome English teacher that taught me like 12th grade English.
Wow,
and got me into all these different literary genres and stuff. So I just started writing poetry and short stories and stuff. But I hadn't really picked up a pen in a while. But I do have some stuff like in my phone. If something come across my mind, I'll put it in my phone.
Ooh, see, now you could do a cookbook and then do some of your writings too.
Yeah, that'll be a great fusion together. I really never just thought about it because I hadn't wrote
You
it
are
so
welcome.
long.
You are welcome.
Well, you know what? When the book comes out, I'll make sure you get your $2.50.
Wow. And would you sign it for me too?
Yes.
But I have to pay for the book, right?
Yes.
I like her already. This is going to be too much fun a little bit. You and I were talking a little bit. You did not watch the Oscars last night. And, the same thing. And I watched it, and I thought it was pretty good, but I didn't recognize any of the movies hardly because I just, it's so weird because we don't go to movies anymore.
Yeah, because I like I said, I feel like COVID ruined everything.
Yeah.
But I don't know too many people who do go to movies. And then when I do like catch the clips or like reviewing something, I'm like, when did that come out? Like, I have never seen it, never heard of that. So I didn't watch the Oscars, but like I told you, I did see the little skit that Adam Sandler did when he came in his casual clothes and started talking to the people on stage and like lift out the theater or whatever.
Yeah, I thought Conan O'Brien was a good host. I mean, like I said, it was good. There was like the movie Flow. There was an animated movie that I recently watched. My wife and I are basically like, we have like 19 streaming services, and which means it's now more expensive than having cable was back in the day. But we're sitting there watching it going, and that looks good, and we'll watch that. But we watched it last night just to see if anybody wore anything crazy or anything like that.
But every streaming is so big now.
Yeah.
So sometimes when something do come to the theater, you can actually like pay for it and sit in your home and watch it. So
I know.
So I think that got something to do with people going to the movies as well.
You talked about you mentioned COVID and did that affect your business? Because it was like, and I remember sitting in a restaurant a week before everything shut down, and the restaurant owner came in and was sitting down because he knew me, and he was just there saying, well, I don't know how this is going to affect us and everything. I said, well, you better get really good at takeout. And did that affect you? Because I know what you do is so central for convenience.
Well,
and for people
it did affect me because I'm on the private sector.
Yeah.
So I'm always, hands-on and more up close and personal.
That's right.
So I don't have a drive-through that you can get some takeout from.
Yeah.
So it did affect me with my catering and then trying to do some private situations. But, as it got better, then, stuff started to move back up because I did have to close for a little while before I could start back catering or doing any private
That's
things.
right, because all the events shut down. Because I do a lot of speaking. So it was like I was just every day I get an email. Well, that's been canceled. That's been canceled. And you're just feeling your bank account go, wah, wah.
It was like one more thing. Ooh.
One more thing. One more day. One more day. You and I both share the love of the TV show
The Bear.
The Bear.
Yes.
That's right.
I
and
love
you
The
actually
Bear.
have a poster of the bear in your classroom, which is the next thing we were going to talk about. So.
Yes, in my culinary classroom, I wanted to look like a diner.
Yes.
So I have a poster of the bear because I love the bear. And then I had to educate my students on it. So sometimes they'd be like, yes, chef. Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef. I love that show. Who's your favorite character?
Let me see. Because I actually like everybody.
I know. Richie used to get on my nerves on that, but I actually like him a lot, especially after the episode Forks, which I think is...
That's the silent one I was talking about.
Yeah, the silent one's one of the best episodes of television I've
Yeah.
ever seen. Yeah, because he has this big total realization that service is what his life is about, which is great.
And then just to see, I guess that's the chef inside of me, just to see service going on and food being made and nobody's talking, everybody just working
And the
and
chaos.
stuff. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like a beautiful chaos to me. That's what I feel like.
So let's talk a little bit about you at the school, which you're at the Mississippi School of the Blind, which obviously, who's watching your classroom right now?
You know what? I don't know.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But they do know that I'm not there, that I'm gone. I didn't sneak out the back door.
Okay, good. Because if I see anybody wandering away from the campus or anything, I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Yes, they know that I was coming to do this. Matter of fact, they should be listening. But I teach culinary arts at the Mississippi School for the Blind.
That is wonderful.
For some high school students, I have 10th through 12th grade, and they are great. They actually making me better because teaching them making me a better chef.
That's right. That's right. So talk a little bit. How did that program get going? I know it had been there before, but it was laying fallow, and then you kind of got tapped on the shoulder.
Yeah, because somebody always knew that because I've been in education, so somebody always knew that I wanted to, eventually teach culinary. I mean, when I first started my business, this was my end goal anyway.
Yeah.
But somebody put a little nudge and bug in my ear. Was like, well, the program hasn't been up, but we're going to start it back up. So, we're looking at it. Would you be interested in, teaching some classes or whatever? And I was like, yeah, it meshing education and food together. It's like a dream come true. So that's how that came about. And it's the first year of it coming back up this past August.
How's it been? Have you enjoyed it?
I have really enjoyed it. We have cooked so much stuff. I have taught them so many things in a short period of time. They done made pasta. We done did different cuisines, Asian food. We made jollof rice last week for Black History Month. So, I mean, It's a lot of things we have done.
So the teaching, obviously, if you were teaching me how to cook and then you're teaching them, there's obviously some huge differences because they do not have sight. But talk a little bit about that process. How do you get them acclimated to do prep and to get everything laid out and so forth?
Well, everything will be, hands-on, and I'm right there with them. Then my class size is small.
Yeah.
So I actually have one student that's a Braille student. So I really work hands-on with her. And then my other students, they have low vision. So they just use low vision aids to aid them into what we're doing.
Are you allowed to use eggs? Because they're pretty expensive these days.
Well, you know what? We was making breakfast for Valentine's Day, and then two fell on the floor.
Ooh.
And one of my students was like, Miss Cox, that's like liquid gold you dropped on the floor.
That's $40 worth of eggs on the ground.
Right.
Egg down.
But unfortunately, I still have to use them no matter how much they cost.
That's right. And I just noticed because I was like, I usually buy 18, and they were like $8.19, and then they were $8.91 the next time I bought them. It's like, man, that bird flu is getting us.
$8 for a dozen of eggs. Goodness.
I know it.
I thought the ad was wrong until I went in the store and they was like, no, this is correct.
And then on top of it, apparently people are hoarding eggs. I was like, because there were no eggs in the store.
And they got a sign that says like limit 3. I'm like, so COVID, it was paper towels.
Yeah.
Now it's eggs.
I know. I mean, eggs, I could probably live a little bit. I think toilet paper was kind of an issue that kind of worried a lot of people, but during COVID. But that's great. I mean, that's great that you get to do that because it gets to combine two things that you like. Let's talk a little bit about your early beginnings. You started in Shaw, Mississippi, and I've actually been through Shaw on my way to Clarksdale.
Okay.
Yeah, so you were there. You were born there, but you kind of moved to Jackson pretty quickly.
Well, I stayed there probably up until I was about 3rd or 4th grade.
Okay.
We moved
So,
up
yeah.
here to Jackson,
Okay.
so I do have a lot of roots.
You do have memories then, yeah.
And then we would go back for summers during the summertime. Like
you still have family up there?
Yes, my grandmother and I have some uncles that live up
Oh,
there.
that's great. It's okay.
So I go back time, but I just being in the kitchen with my grandmother and great grandmother, just seeing them just cook for the family and stuff. I always liked the gatherings, food bring people together, and just seeing her till to her garden, and then she had chickens. See, if she had her chickens, I wouldn't have to worry about eggs.
That's true. I know. I was thinking about getting a couple chickens myself. Of course, my neighbors might not like it too much, but they get over it.
But that was just learning from them was just what inspired me to do what I do now. So I always honor them when I cook something or create a recipe. I try to honor my Southern roots or my roots of my family.
Isn't it amazing how food is almost like a roux or something that connects everything in Mississippi? Mm-hmm. It's just such a food, family, fun, faith. I mean, it's like a lot of F words and good F words, but definitely food is a big part of it. And for you to grow up, and especially being around, you were like, your great grandmother was there, your grandmother was there, your mom was there, and to be able to have that much maternal love. When you were sitting there learning, no wonder you went into food.
Yeah, because, it was just like food was always around me.
Yeah.
But actually, I ran from food. When I left high school, I thought I wanted to be an accountant.
Okay. Wow.
But that's the power of having great teachers. Yeah. I had a great accounting teacher in the 12th grade. So I felt like, I'm having fun in this class doing this, and this is what I want to do until I got to the campus and started taking the classes. And I was like, I thought about it. I'm going to be sitting in a cubicle probably the majority of my life. Yeah, no, I can't do this.
But you're a small business owner, and a lot of times people that are creative struggle as small business owners because they can't do things like accounting.
Yeah, that's why I have an assistant now.
Yeah, that's right, too.
Because at first, when I first started, I was trying to do everything.
Yeah.
Contracts and bookings and paperwork, and then trying to cook the food and all that. So now I have somebody else that I give the paperwork, the business job to, and I handle the food and stuff like that.
So one thing you learned in school is how to delegate.
Yes.
It's almost like a sous chef, except somebody does sous accounting. So not to be sued. But anyway, on that. So that's how you kind of got your start, though. You fell in love with it as a kid, but then what year you started there? I saw 2 different years on when you started your business, but it was about 10 years ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I started in 2014.
Okay.
But I actually was working somewhere, and I was just thinking like, this job is not rewarding. Like it's I feel like it's something I need to be doing creative. So I talked with a couple of my friends, and one of my friends in particular, she was like, you can cook really well, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, you should start doing private dining, a private chef, because people are always looking for somebody to cook for them. So when she put that bug in my ear, that kind of what inspired me to kind of excel into this business.
Let's dive deeper into that, but first let's take our first break, and when we return, we're going to be back with the incredible Chef Poe. This is Now You're Talking on MPB Think Radio.
together through the years, together in the future. MPB, your stories, our mission.
Both seasons of the 10-Minute Timeout are now available on a variety of podcasting apps. The mini podcast can be binged in a day and is perfect for those that just want a quick listen. Join me, Lacey Alexander, as I sit down with special guests, revisit major moments, and give a platform to the athletes and sports that shape Mississippi. Head over to mpbonline.org to give it a try.
Hello, I'm Desiree Frazier, host of the award-winning news program, Mississippi Edition. We bring you conversations about the latest news from across the Magnolia State. Whether it's politics, healthcare, or education, you'll hear in-depth discussions on issues that matter to you. So join us each weekday morning at 8:30 on MPB Think Radio, or download the podcast, listen through the app, and online.
You're listening to Now You're Talking on MPB Think Radio. I'm your host, Marshall Ramsey, and we're back with private chef, Chef Poe. We said we were talking a little bit how you were getting into this. So it was about 10 years ago, 2014, you decided to go in because you love to cook, and people were telling you, hey, you're very good at cooking. So now you didn't go to CIA, you didn't go to the Culinary Institute of America, but you grew up with incredible cooks around you, with your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, and you love to cook, and you thought, hey, I'm going to make a go with this.
Yes, they was the best culinary training that I could ever get.
Were they tough on you?
Not really, because
Okay.
I did a lot of watching more than like hands-on. So I just remembered like stuff that they did, or like, things that they taught me. Or when I started really cooking, I'll call my grandmother and be like, tell me how you make this. Or tell me what you put in this, whatever. So, and then I, of course, put my like own spin on it once they tell me like what they're doing. And then I try to also stay original to the recipe that they gave me, just to keep that legacy and that family thing going.
See, one of the things that I discovered this with my grandmother's, a lot of their recipes were not written down, and it was like it wasn't measured out. It was like they had this force ability to be able to know exactly a pinch of whatever, and I'm not sure what a pinch is, but they would throw a pinch. So it's like some of the recipes have been lost, but it sounded, did yours write them down?
Because I don't have anything written, because like my great grandmother, before she passed away, I did get the tea cake recipe.
Okay.
And I really want it now.
I was gonna ask you, what were some of their specialties?
So like tea cakes were something that my great grandmother made really well, and no matter who make me one or say that they know how to make tea cakes, it just doesn't taste. I don't get that taste and feeling that I did when she made them. So I don't know. So it's like it's some ingredient that I don't know that she put in it I can't get right.
Well, did she do that on purpose just to make sure that nobody else got her recipe?
Maybe so, but it did. But I know it's probably just something simple.
Wow. So someday you're going to figure it out, and you're just going to be like, yes. You'll probably have a dream or something. She'll come to you and say it's whatever.
Because I did get as close. That's what my mom said. My mom said I got real close, but it's like it's something that she does that's like missing.
But your mom and your grandmother don't know either.
No.
Oh, wow. So it's not like they're keeping it from you.
Yeah.
Okay. So tea cakes is one. What were some, because you and I was noticing on your website, you really cook some really cool Southern food.
Well, the tea cakes, biscuits. And my great grandmother could fry the best chicken ever.
Really?
Like the best chicken wings, rice and gravy, like all the Southern stuff that like, yes. It was like, so I didn't see her do like a lot to like the recipes or to the chicken or to the gravy or whatever, and it came out amazing.
What's the secret of good fried chicken?
Brining it first.
Really? Okay. That helps.
That helps maintaining moisture and stuff when you fry it.
Yeah. You got it here first, folks. There you go. Chef Poe's giving us all of her secrets as well. You started your business, Chef Poe's Urban Kitchen, a little bit. Why did you decide to go that route instead of like saying putting out a shingle and opening up a restaurant?
Well, I wanted to be mobile.
Yeah.
So because I wanted to be where the people were.
Okay.
I didn't want to be like held back in a kitchen for 8-9 hours and nobody. I want to feel and touch the people. Like if I like at festivals when I make something and they taste it, I want to feel their reaction and feel that, because that's the whole purpose of me cooking.
You get a lot of energy back from them too. Yeah, definitely on that. So did you start doing festivals right away?
Well, not right away. As I grew, I started getting recognized, and people started, recognize who I was. And then, actually, my first big festival was the one when I did Sip and Savor last year, and that was about 500 people that came. 500.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So when you do a festival like that, what does it look like? What does it look like when you're sitting down?
Well, you just come up with something that you feel unique to you, but it's like food is everywhere, drinks, and the people are just walking around and talking with you. Like last year when I did Sip and Savor, I did oxtail gumbo with a side of sweet potato cornbread, and I garnished it with collard greens. So that was something unique to me and honoring like my southern roots. How
did you come up with the idea of oxtail gumbo? Because that sounds like something I probably would have never thought of cooking an oxtail.
And with having oxtail, because I like a whole bunch of different types of cuisines.
Yeah.
So I'm jerking my oxtails like the Jamaicans. I'm doing gumbo from the Creole.
Yeah.
I got the sweet potato cornbread and the greens from the southern side. So kind of mixing that together, brought that dish together.
You talk a lot about how your family's influenced your cooking, and I could completely get that, but I know there's also other outside influences. Who are some people that have mentored you or have inspired you as a chef?
Well, one person, of course, is Chef Enrica Williams. I just saw her. She was on Deep Side Down, and I didn't know, but
she was so excited when she found out you were here. She's like, she's here.
So she's one of the people that has inspired me, and just seeing some of the locals, Chef Phillip, he has done some great things. Just they inspire me to do what I do.
I think for this size city, we punch way above our weight. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of really good food here.
I tell people I'll put our food up against anybody, and we have some great chefs here.
Yeah,
like some amazing chefs here.
The story, of course, the influences of women in your life. Tell us a little bit about how women are specifically are very necessary in the culinary world.
Because women pay attention to detail. That it's something that's come natural.
I'm not going to argue with you on that.
So that's something that we don't have to go to school to. Make a plate look pretty or put something but it's our attention to detail that really that matters in the kitchen, and then we can cook.
Well, yeah.
But that's so important that the women are in the kitchen, which like when I first started doing culinary, I'm like the roles kind of I feel like it's reversed. It's a male dominant world of culinary, but going back to history, women was in the kitchen and the men was in the in the workforce. So now it's more men in the kitchen than women. and so that was like a shocker to me that it wasn't more women in the kitchen than it's so male dominant. But even with it being male dominant, I just stay in my lane and do what it is I do, and I keep it moving.
Tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you faced. And, obviously being a small business person, and we've talked a little bit about how COVID affected everything, shut you down because everybody stopped having events and so forth. But talk about some of the other, because that's literally how you get your education, or the challenges.
Well, mostly because, since I don't have like a brick and mortar, it's sometimes it's kind of hard to kind of cater to a larger crowd.
Like, you have a truck?
Well, so I don't have a food truck.
You don't have a food truck per se, but you do have,
But if I need a commercial kitchen to work out of, I know, plenty that I can go to, or places I can go. But sometimes they want to like sit down where you are, or come to a place where you are. So that's one of the challenges.
No kidding. I would imagine, because like every stove is different, and you're going into, a lot of times you probably go into people's homes and stuff and have to use their kitchen a little bit too. But you have your own stuff and everything.
Yeah.
And
so I basically bring my kitchen with me.
Okay. I'm about to say, I don't know if you want to use, you're like, man, this knife is sharp as a spoon.
I bring my equipment, but But I still want to, because I hadn't did a brick and mortar, because I still want to keep it personal.
Yes.
I still want to be where the people is. And when I cook, I want to be where the folks are.
I was just thinking about, because like I said, we just met, but I've been talking to you now for about an hour, between the show and beforehand. I would love to sit there and watch you cook and have a conversation with you while you're doing it, because I have a feeling that you're very personable with the crowd when you're doing it, which goes back to the whole thing that why you want to do this and not have a restaurant.
Well, actually, I am working on something like that. I'm working on with my guy that does my videos, so we're creating a show where we're going to be like moving around, and he's going to be documenting my events and stuff, and we're going to be talking to different people. And also Sunday service we'll be having, that's what it's going to be called, but it's like an underground dinner party.
Nice.
So they'll be more personal with my cooking and talking with the people and stuff.
So as a small business person, you're constantly throwing things against the wall to see what sticks.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
but not eggs.
So no, because they're too expensive.
They're too expensive.
But it's like I said, I want to keep it where it, that personal thing, because I like to touch the people. When I cook, I like to get right there with them.
And when you say touch the people, you don't mean literally reach out and smack them or
No.
anything. Okay.
No, no.
No, because that wouldn't be sanitary.
No, not at all.
On that. So one of the things you do, and I always noticed, is like food prep, which I think is really cool. Mm-hmm. So you basically can give like 5 to 10 or 10 to 20 meals, all the ingredients and everything. So all somebody has to do literally is come home and take a few minutes to cook it, and they're good. Yeah,
most people are on some kind of diet or something, or they're trying to eat healthier or make better choices. And they was like, well, I don't know what to eat. And they'll kind of tell me what it is that they want to eat, and I kind of come up with something. But I do have a standard menu that you can pull from, like if you just don't know what to eat. But like I have vegan clients, I have clients that just want to eat better. Then I got some that just don't like to cook. They just want somebody else to cook for them.
Yeah, but they don't want to eat takeout every night. Yeah.
They want some real food, but they just don't want to eat McDonald's and Wendy's and stuff every day.
Don't blame them on that. So I did that when I was in college, and trust me, it didn't work out well. So I think I gained 100 pounds. But so that's pretty cool. So that's one of the things you do. You do, obviously, you pop in, you set up, you do events, you do catering. What are some other things you do? Your Facebook page is fun. It really is. You have a lot.
I also teach classes too, so I do a lot of private.
So you do a lot of teaching also.
Cooking classes. So like still with that under that education window.
Yeah.
So if you want to learn how to cook something, or I can come to your home and do like a date night, or it can be a large event, because I did a huge one with my church not too long ago.
Really?
And they made pasta and the sauce, and they seared chicken. So I like doing those too as well, cooking classes.
Now, I've spoken to a lot of churches, and one thing that's usually like Food Central. And that's pretty risky, going into your church and saying, "Okay, I'm going to teach you how to cook."
Well, they kind of trust me.
Okay. I'm about to say they know.
They know me. They've been knowing me long enough to trust me.
I mean, you are Chef Poe. But still, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't even dare going in and try to say, okay, no, I'm going to cook you some eggs or something.
Yeah, but it's just a different experience and then when I do a cooking class, I always try to find something that they don't normally cook or eat, so they can try different things or whatever.
Like what? What?
So like when we did like making pasta from scratch, like. Now, nobody makes pasta from scratch.
No, that generally means opening up the bag, right?
So that was real fun to teach them how to do the pasta, and then letting them know that Alfredo sauce is literally 3 ingredients, so you don't have to buy it out of the jar.
What are the 3 ingredients? This is how stupid I am, because I just thought you turned the lid and dumped it in there.
It's heavy whipping cream.
Heavy whipping cream.
Butter and garlic.
Sounds heart healthy. Well, you got a garlic, so it's good for your heart.
So you can season it how you want, but you can add you some Parmesan cheese to it as well to thicken it.
Nice. And so, if I were you, do you ever like, this is like one for you, one for me, one for you, one for me when you cook? Because I would probably do that and probably eat all my profits.
Well, actually, I'm around food so much that it's a lot of times I've been and did an event all day, and I'd be like, ooh, I haven't ate yet.
Do you come home and cook, or do you literally like go to get takeout after you've done?
Absolutely not. Okay. I do not cook every night. Everybody think that, but I do not. And plus, my son eats only Kraft macaroni and chicken tenders.
Does that just absolutely drive you nuts?
But I mean, it does
But
sometimes.
it's pretty easy
But I
to cook,
mean,
too,
that's
so.
easy, and that's what he wants.
Does he cook his own? Does he cook yet?
He can microwave.
That's a good start. That's a very good start. How old is he?
17.
Okay. Yeah. So you and I both are in the same boat. We both have the 17-year-old. Yeah. So I joked that my son just, if it's brown, there's no frown.
Now, speaking of eggs,
Yeah.
he'll want me to scramble him eggs all the time. But guess how many he eat in one sitting?
6.
He eats 6 of them with cheese.
6 eggs?
6 scrambled eggs with cheese.
Wow.
Matter of fact, I had to cook him some last night.
6. Okay. So that's like $50 worth of
This
eggs.
was like
No.
so I might as well make him a steak.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a lot of calories. No, seriously, it's amazing. I call my child the cereal killer because he eats a box of cereal every time he sits down.
My son eat a lot of cereal too, and that's something I never liked.
You never like cereal?
I never really liked cereal. I guess because I don't really like milk.
Oh, okay. That would do that. And also, too, when you're surrounded with like really good food,
Mm-hmm.
real food, you didn't need cereal.
That's what made me want to start cooking because I didn't want to eat cereal.
When did you start cooking?
13.
You were 13.
That was the earliest
Okay.
I started cooking.
So the thing is, and I know how territorial a kitchen can be. When you started cooking at 13, did they actively teach you, or did you you were assigned certain duties?
Well, I just got in there and started cooking.
Okay.
Because it was like during the summer when me and my brother was at home, and I'm like, I don't want to eat cereal or hamburger or something. And I was like, my mom have all this food here. I can just start cooking it. So I just started cooking home cooked meals.
Well, that's cool. Well, she probably appreciated that too.
Oh yeah, they had it made.
Yeah.
Coming home from work to a home cooked meal, how good is that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I hope we remain friends. It's kind of cool to know Chef Poe, you know. So then that'd be great on that. You know, you literally on the business front on this, and you've been able to grow it. How are you doing? You're staying pretty. How many days a week do you end up working?
Well, I work every day.
Every day.
I really don't have a day off because if I'm not teaching, I'm doing something for my business. And like yesterday was Sunday, so I knew I had to prepare meal preps to be delivered today. So I'm working, doing something every day.
Wow. So you're training your students. I got to go back to you teaching because I think that's fantastic. You said you did education before you ended up at the School of the Blind. What were you teaching before?
I was in second grade.
Second grade.
So
Okay.
I had the smaller babies.
Yeah.
Which they was fun to
They are
teaching.
great. Yeah.
Because you never know what it is that they're gonna say.
That is true. That is true. So, and how did this job come about?
Because I was still, when I was doing second grade, I was doing my chef and stuff too, and I knew that I wanted to continue in education, but I wanted to teach culinary.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do general education anymore. Not that I hated it. I just wanted to do what my career was.
That's right.
Meshed it together. But like I said, this job came available, and I took a chance on going back to the classroom and teaching it, and I love it.
You're training the kids now. Where do you see them going with this? To, like community college, or where do they think?
Well, some of them are saying they want to go in culinary through community college,
Nice.
Get their certificate for culinary. But they are Serve Safe certified. We did that before Christmas, and I presented them with their jackets. So now they're all chefs.
They literally, it's a white coat ceremony.
Yeah.
Kind of, almost
so
like doctors.
they were so excited about that. And they want to wear their jackets around like they Lettermans every day.
That is awesome. That is something. Do their names on it and everything?
Yes, they got their names. So it has like their chef and their name on it. So they really are important now.
That is very cool. See, I was going to have you call me Chef Ramsey, but then there is already a Chef Ramsey. And I would have had to cuss the whole show.
Oh, my goodness.
It worked out really well. So that to me, I just think is fantastic. I think it's great. I mean, number one, I've always, we had Mike on here who does reading radio services, and he talked about his experience going to that school. I think that school, the School for the Blind, is just fantastic. It really is just a wonderful service that the state of Mississippi provides for those kids and everything. But the fact that you're there teaching them a very valuable skill, what challenges do they have not being able to see as a chef? I could see a lot of challenges. But
well, especially when it comes down to with the knife skills and stuff.
Yes. That
making
would be
sure
number one.
everybody don't cut their fingers off is
Yes.
a great thing. But we have done knife skills, and I have taught them how to hold their hand and stuff, and
good.
and to make sure that their hand in position away so they won't cut their fingers and stuff. So we hadn't had any accidents, so we're good.
So as a teacher, how did you learn how to teach them? Because that required you having to learn a few skills too.
Well, I always, because I'm I say a nerd by trade.
Yeah.
Because I'm always want to know how something works or research or what's the culture behind it. So just picking up a book and learning some stuff just so I can be able to teach it to them. And then also it comes natural. Like it just comes natural.
Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you what, why don't we take our last break, and when we continue with Chef Poe, we're going to talk a little bit of some things that are coming up and a little bit more about your business. How's that sound?
That sound great.
All right, that's good.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bobby Rush. As a blues man, I love Mississippi Public Broadcasting. If you support Mississippi music and their local programming, donate now, right now, and become a member today, not tomorrow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Doesn't matter how big or small, but we prefer big. Thank you very much.
What's happening at the Mississippi Legislature? Tune in to MPB's At Issue for an inside look at the legislative session, interviews with legislators, and perspectives from both sides of the aisle. I'm your host, Wilson Stribling. At Issue airs every Friday night at 6:30 on MPB Think Radio throughout the session. You can also subscribe to the MPB At Issue podcast and catch At Issue videos on YouTube and at mpbonline.org. MPB's At Issue. Tune in, Mississippi.
The Measuring Show.
Since 1970, MPB has been enriching the lives of Mississippians.
Everything we do gives us the chance to grow and learn.
With your support, we are always there whenever and wherever you need us. Together through the years, together in the future. Please consider making a donation at mpbfoundation.org. MPB, your stories, our mission.
You're listening now. You're talking on MPB Think Radio. Happy Monday. Thank you for listening. I'm your host, Marshall Ramsey, and back with Chef Poe. Chef Poe, this has been delightful. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, I have really enjoyed myself. I'm honored to be
thank
here.
You. No, I could see us co-hosting sometime. You know, she's the gravitas, and I'm just the host. It will work out perfectly on this. This is fantastic, and like I said, you have made me incredibly hungry throughout this whole show. Thank you.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't bring is y'all some food. So, yeah, I'm going to have to bring y'all some food.
Seriously.
See, I'm like 2 minutes away, so my student's going to have to cook y'all something.
That would be great. That would be so cool. That really would. Like I said, I'm super impressed with your students.
Really I'm impressed with them, too.
Yeah, no kidding.
When they not,
Well, because they're listening right now, so I want to make sure that they know.
When they not, getting in that ear, and I have to be like, yo.
Oh, okay. So are you like a really tough disciplinarian?
Not.
You're not?
I am a disciplinarian.
Okay.
They know.
I'm a
when it's time to play and when it's time to be serious.
Yeah, see, I know. I already know not to mess with you because I know you're pretty tough on this. You, like I said, 2014, you started getting into the business, and up until 2020 is, of course, when the pandemic was. So you were really cooking on all. What did your business look like in the early years?
Well, it looked like more catering than anything.
Yeah.
Like baby showers, weddings, date nights, It was family reunions.
Yeah.
It was like more heavy catering then.
A lot of word of mouth. Is that how you got business?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And social media, of course, obviously, you probably were pretty adept at that pretty early on. Yeah, so on that. So, and then the pandemic happened, you had to do the changes and so forth, and you do this now. Where do you see yourself in like 5 years?
In 5 years, I do want to acquire me a food truck.
Okay.
So I can really be mobile, to do what it is I do. Also, eventually, I do want to open up my own cooking school.
Really? That would be cool. Right here in Jackson?
Yes, I wanted to be in Jackson. I love Mississippi. Mississippi's home.
Is that be something you do by yourself, or do you think you would partner with some other chefs?
I would partner with some other chefs to come in and do some things, because I would definitely need somebody to kind of tag team me with baking, because that is not my jam.
Oh, okay. So, but you do the tea cakes.
Yes, but I'm still trying to get that one ingredient.
Yeah. So what is it about baking that vexes you?
Because baking is a science. Like, you have to be precise.
Chemistry. Yeah.
Because you can mess up one thing and your whole thing can be messed up. And see, with cooking savory, I can kind of tweak it a little bit if I taste it and I need to do this or whatever. And then I'll be like, yeah, it's right.
What's your favorite food?
Seafood. I eat a lot of shrimp.
You like a lot of shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
And you're in a good place for that.
Yeah.
I mean, we get a lot of fresh shrimp, so it works out really well.
From the Gulf.
And your favorite thing to cook?
My favorite thing to cook, that's kind of hard, because I like cooking a lot of things. But really, I like doing any kind of authentic Mexican, any kind of fresh tortillas and street tacos and stuff, which I'm a really street food person. Like anything you can pick up and walk around with, I like things like that.
I can see that working really well on a food truck.
Yeah, because I make a soul food taco.
Really? Okay. So tell us more.
It's on a corn tortilla, and it's fried catfish with a collard green coleslaw on it. You see how Southern that sounds?
That is, if you were any more Southern, you would be here.
Because when you take the whole bite from the corn tortilla and the greens and the fish, you get that whole Southern meal in one bite.
Yeah, the greens coleslaw is fascinating. I've never even, how did you come up with that idea?
Because people don't know you can eat collard greens raw. Like you do spinach or whatever. So
yeah, I was thinking raw. The texture would be perfect for coleslaw.
Yeah.
Huh. So okay. Well, I don't know about you, Lacey, but I'm hungry. Really hungry now too. We are in food festival season. We're getting there. It's hard to believe. I mean, the trees are starting to blossom, tornadoes and everything else. I mean, it's spring. They're here. You said that you enjoy that because you like to touch the people. You like to be out there. I can see you. Do you carry on a conversation the whole time you're cooking?
Well, if it's just probably in my head. But
okay.
I also have music going too when I cook a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what are you? Do you have a soundtrack? Do you have a playlist?
Well, it's just be random, because I might want to feel the spirit one day, and then I want to do jazz one day. So it just depends on my mood or whatever.
I was about to say, does the music make any difference in the outcome of the food? Because I could see.
Well, I feel like if the chef is happy, the food is going to be great, and the person is going to be happy that's going to eat it.
That's the way it is at my house too. If the chef is happy, then we're all happy. That's it. We're all happy on that. Because some days, maybe she isn't too much. So, well, I want to ask you a little bit about your experiences. And have you had any, really cool moments? Have you met really cool people? Have you had any disasters? Because you have a situation where you can see it's starting to go south, but you got to turn it. How do you save the situation? Because that's a lot of pressure, sitting there cooking in front of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of times. Well, I think I've kind of worked good off of pressure.
Do you?
Because if I know I have to do something and get it done, I might kind of, feel it a little bit, the heat a little bit, but then when I know I have to do it, I get right to doing it. Because even with the Sip and Savor last year, it was just me that went, and I was like, because I always take some people with me to help me when I do events or whatever. Everybody had so many things to do, but when I got there, I didn't know that the culinary students in that area would be assigned to different chefs. So I actually was overreacting for nothing, because I still had help. So if the pressure is on, that kind of fuels me to do what it is I need to do.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, that they actually assign people to you and all that too. But I bet to say,
and it was so great to talk to those students and see, talk about their program they're doing at like East Central and up that way and stuff.
That's right. Yeah, so that's good. Do you ever go visit schools and talk to them a little bit about?
Well, I haven't yet, but it's one school up there that do want me to come up there and visit because I do want to come. I actually want to take my students so they can kind of see what a college culinary program looks like.
Yeah, you definitely need to do that, and I would think too that the students would benefit so much getting to talk. Because you're not only are you're a chef and you create excellent food, but you're an entrepreneur too. They need to hear that because it's like the business. It seems like and I love all my friends that own restaurants, and I mean it was neat seeing Malcolm for years had one, and Jeff Good and Robert St. John. I've known them for years, and just the whole stress and the business of being able to create events and foods, but also the love that you put into the work too.
Yes, because I mean, I feel like the people feel it when you really want to cook something and when you really didn't want to cook something. So I always want to cook the things I want to cook. So the people feel it when they eat.
It's that way with pretty much any kind of art. Because I can look back at my drawings that I've done, and I can tell when I was not in the mood to be drawing.
It's like, ooh, what was happening?
I was phoning it in that day. It was like, that's bad. So, because, it's like, the lines don't cross or anything like that. So, but it's a little bit that. So, food festival season, the next one coming up is?
Sip and Savor for me on April the 12th. That's going to be in Meridian at the Max.
Okay. Oh, the Max. Oh, that's great. You've been to the Max, obviously.
Yes, it's really nice. It's fantastic.
It really is. I mean, they're doing such a great job there.
And then they have an exhibit now about how gas stations are feeding America. So I really want to see that because the best fried chicken in America is at the gas station.
The best fried anything is at the thing. I think that I joked. We had a guest on who did a book about gas station food all across the South, and I thought that was fascinating. The only thing that's ever scared me is sushi.
What, at a gas station?
Yeah.
I always, even the sushi that's like wrapped up in Kroger, they like sit out there for you to just pick up. I'm kind of scared of that too.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's like, and I'm sure it's lovely.
It's probably great, but
it's lovely and everything else. But I just, like I said, but the potato logs. Oh my gosh, incredible.
When you go other places and they be like, you eat chicken out of the gas station? Yes, that's where the best chicken is.
Oh, exactly.
At the gas station.
And you don't understand because a lot of places that may be the only restaurant in the town, and so forth. But it's, hush puppies, the potato logs, the chicken.
And it always be hot and fresh and good.
And it's good because they know what they're doing.
And when you pull up and you see like nobody's getting gas and they're lined up at the food thing,
there's always the line.
You know this is the best food that you ain't ever eat.
Exactly. No, I know. All my friends that don't live in the South are just amazed that we just like, no, seriously, when you come down. And I take people. I mean, we'll be driving through the Delta. I was like, come here, we got so you got to do that. So you'll be doing that April 12th. How long a day? How long are you there?
It's from 5 to 9.
5 to 9.
I normally get there like 2 hours prior to like set up and get everything started. But it was just a cool experience to talk to the people, and they get to taste my food and stuff, and people that might not know who I was, and I got new faces and everything like that.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be good for your business too, because people get to know you and they're like, you're passing out business cards at the same time. So on that,
but it just be fun for me just connecting with everybody.
You mean you actually enjoy meeting people?
Yes.
I am shocked.
Because I love it. This is what I do.
No, I know. You are so good at it. That's what I was going to say. You're a real pro at this. So a little bit. Tell us a little bit more about you in the Urban Kitchen, because we want folks to obviously know all the good things that you do.
Well, Chef Poe Urban Kitchen, we is a private chef company. We do catering, full, small catering, private dinners. We do cooking classes. If you just want Chef Poe to come run her mouth doing motivational speaking, we do that too as well.
Really? So what do you talk about with your motivational speaking?
Well, just how my story and how I got into business. It's just an entrepreneur story. How I started. I pretty much built Chef Poe Urban Kitchen from the ground up.
Wow. So that had to be hard. I mean, literally.
Yes, because, nobody, when you first start, nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows how your food tastes. So you have to build that reputation that somebody will want to book you. But I can say that my family members, they was like the first people that booked me. My mom was my first client. They
no pressure there.
Catering. So once people learn about you and the word of mouth and stuff, and then that's how it start growing.
Yeah, definitely. And also, too, and I think a lot of people don't realize that entrepreneurs, when you're actually starting a business, there's a lot of stuff like, having to get permits and having to do insurance and having to do all kinds of
yeah, because most people think chefs
things.
just cook, but we're doing paperwork. We're coming up with recipes. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do for this event, because I got a couple of them coming up in March. I got something in April. So, it's a lot of things that goes on.
Well, and you have a day job. And you have a day job,
and then I work full time. So, it's a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes besides just cooking.
Favorite source of caffeine?
Pepsi.
Okay.
And that's because of my great-grandmother.
Really?
Because that's all she drunk.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that's all she is drunk when I was a kid, and she would always buy a few of them just for her. And then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to drink when I get older. I'm gonna be able to buy all the Pepsis I want.
So that's what keeps you going during the evening. So I'm about to say, then you hit the sack, then you wake up early and you're back at it again. So that is amazing. That's so cool. And I'm excited about you being, of course, over at the Max too, and that's going to be fun on April 12th a little bit. And like I said, on the personal chef part of it, do you have regulars that have you come and cook for them pretty regularly?
Yes, I do. And then my meal prep clients, I have regulars that I know every week that I have to cook for them.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you don't necessarily go to their house and cook for them personally?
Yeah, I just bring it. I deliver it.
Oh, you deliver?
I have 2 deliveries today.
Oh, wow. See, now that's my goal, Lacey, is to get really rich, so then I can have you just do my food. Because then I can just look. Because we have a battle at my house. It's like my wife's like, you need to cook a couple times a week. Mm-hmm. I can say, no, honey, you never have to cook again. Mm-hmm. And just do the meal prep.
Yeah.
And do that. So that's my goal.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you to it.
I got to get famous. So, I'm still intrigued.
Me too. I got to get famous too.
Well, you're on the radio. That's a good start.
Somebody might want my autograph out there. I don't know.
Oh, I'll get it before the show's over with. We got a couple minutes left. Is there anything that I have not asked you? Because, like I said, this has been a fun. I told you to go by fast.
Because I know. I mean, I just can talk about food anytime. But like I said, I just want to connect with the people and make sure that everybody's eating good. I feel like good food brings people together. Yeah. When whatever day you're having, and you have something good to eat, that can kind of take away some of that pain or whatever you're going through. So I always wanted that to be in the center of what I do is community. So that's how I started my business and what I want to continue.
I just think it's wonderful that you took the experience you had as a kid being in the kitchen with your family and have taken that out to the people. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That same love.
Yes, because my slogan is love the people, cook them great food.
I like that. Instead of hate the people, give them junk.
Yeah, or give them whatever.
See, that's my motto. That's right. We have a very similar motto. Just change a couple words if we got it there a little bit on that. This is delightful. How can they find you online?
They can reach me for IG and Facebook, Chef Po Urban Kitchen, and my website is chefpourbankitchen.com.
Urbankitchen.com. Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. All right. Any other last words of wisdom before we go away for the day?
I just want to say thank you to my MSB fan for listening to me this morning, listening to me yap.
I hope I get to meet them soon. They sound cool.
Yes, you will.
All right, great. All right, hey, thank you, Chef Po. Appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
And I want to thank you for listening, and of course, a special thanks to Chef Po for joining us today. And if you'd like to hear this or any past episodes, you can subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast app on our MPB Public Media app. Now You're Talking is a production of MPB Think Radio with episode and podcast produced by the incredibly talented and modest Lacey Alexander. So stay tuned for Southern Remedy, Healthy and Fit. That's coming up right next. And join us again next Monday at 10 a.m. I'm Marshall Ramsey. Y'all have a great week.